everyone. Welcome to the Crocs and Hot Pocket Show. Thank you for being here. Today is Sunday, August 28th, 2016. This is episode 7. Crocs and Hot Pockets is a show where we talk about life, streaming, gaming, and everything in between. We are going to start the show, as we usually do, by going around the room, introducing everybody, give you guys a couple reminders of what you can do to participate in the show, and then after we introduce everybody, we will go around and find out what everyone has been doing and what has been up in their lives as of lately. As per usual, there are two ways that you guys can interact with the show. There is the question command and there is the answer command. So at any point during the entire show, you can type !question in chat, followed by your question, and we will answer all of those at the end of the show. And towards the end of the show, during that same segment, we will also be asking chat a question, which you can answer with the ! Answer command. And if you aren't able to catch the show live, do not worry. Audio and video versions of the show are always uploaded to both iTunes in podcast format and on YouTube in video format, and those are usually available the following day. Last but not least, if you guys are up to keeping up to date with news articles relating to tech news, streaming news, or gaming news, there is a channel in the Naaackers Discord server where you guys can submit articles, and actually everybody has been going nuts with posting articles to the Crocs and Hot Pockets Discord channel, so I thank you all. So that is it for the introduction. We're going to move right along to the talking points. Speed, did you find a budget for the last Transformers?
Oh, I did how much they make. They made 836 million, it looks like. That's the budget.
Wow. Wait, only 160?
800.
Oh, Jesus. Holy fuck. Okay.
800 million?
Mm-hmm. And the budget was 200 million.
Wow. 200
That's what
million.
Google says, and that's what I'm reading off the first thing that pops up. So it may be wrong, but that's...
Motherfucker.
I mean, the whole movie is CGI. I don't think there's any real people in those movies, so...
Yeah, especially since Megan Fox got all that work done.
Right? Oh.
That's all CGI.
That's the only part of the movie that isn't CGI, is her plastic face.
They spend like $1 million hiding that toe, so... You never see Megan Fox's toes?
No.
Or is it her fingers? It's her thumbs. They look like...
her thumb.
Her thumbs look like toes.
Yeah.
Big toes.
Yeah, you guys haven't seen that?
And if you Google search Megan Fox, she's always hiding her thumbs. You'll never see them. And then if you do see them, it looks like a big toe and you'll never unsee it. It's fat and it's stubby. Like, I have ugly toes.
How have I never seen this?
Oh my God. Well,
I've
that's
never
just
heard of
ruined
that.
Megan Fox. They did have to CGI her real thumbs in the film.
No, they did not.
Because no one could stand that.
Oh, wow.
Megan Fox thumbs.
There's like the first 20 images on Google Images is like TMZ articles with the enlarged thumb right next to her face.
They are gross.
Well then.
Of you of all the people, how do you not know about that, Naaackers?
I have no idea.
He jerked off to photos of her and he didn't even realize it.
Cub girl.
There was no thumbs involved.
Your thumbs were involved.
Gross.
Burn.
Are you guys saying that BadBadRobot's a little low? Let's see, where did I have you set at?
I'm always low.
I'm going to boost you up to 125. Okay,
Right.
let's move along to the talking points. Or I'm sorry, let's move over to the introductions for everybody. So, SaltySam, who are you, and where can we find you online?
My name is SaltySam. You can find me at the SaltySam on Twitch and Twitter, and Salty All Day on Snapchat.
Well, day.
All right. By the way, instead of me saying next or calling the next person's name, I'm just gonna have you guys go in the order that we usually do, because I hate the way it sounds
Just
when I
figure it out.
yeah. So
You want me to go? You gotta tell me I gotta go first. I'm just kidding. Hi, I'm SpeedDemon. You can find me on the GSM forums and Discord and on Twitter at SpeedDemon2533.
I'm MrFortyTwo on Instagram and Snapchat, and MrFortyTwo TV on Twitter.
What's up? I'm BadBadRobot. You can find me at the BadBadRobot on Twitch, Twitter, and Snapchat.
My name is Naaackers. You guys can find me on this very Twitch channel. You can also find me on Twitter and Snapchat at Naaackers.
Oh.
The fuck just happened? The bill of my hat was covering Skype and I couldn't see, and I looked up and everyone was laughing.
Nothing.
Story of my life, motherfucker. Is there a dildo?
No.
Sometimes I forget to put that thing away.
Bozo winked at us.
Yeah.
He's a real boy.
I'm a real boy. All right. Next up, the most important part. Mr. Bourbanator in chat actually asked this question. But we actually ask this question every single show. So we're going to go around the room and figure out what everybody is drinking. So, Salty, you are up first.
I am drinking Leinenkugel's IPL. It's a Indian Pale Ale, 6%.
What does the L stand for?
I have no fucking idea. It says Indian Pale Lager, but on the side of the bottle, like on the side of the box, it's Indian Pale Ale. So,
Okay.
I don't fucking know.
Lager.
Tastes like an IPA to me.
Okay.
Sweet tea.
On second thought, we're just going to delete Speed's entry from this part of the script. By the way, oh, go ahead, 42.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm not much better because I'm on call with work, so I've got a nice Coca-Cola.
Oh,
Some
that's
water.
Delicious.
Delicious.
I am drinking water, but not just water, Starbucks water, so it's even better. No, it's just water.
Tell us why it's better.
Because I paid $7.
Exactly. There we go. But I did tonight. First of all, I did when I went to dinner. I got a Moscow Mule. We went bowling, and I got a really tall, like amber ale beer. And then after that, we had ice cream. So I didn't want to push it with another beer and then have myself throw up on the show. So I'm sticking with water. I'm hydrating myself because I had pizza and a burger. So
Oh my God.
me and my wife, I got the burger. She got the pizza, and we split. So best of both worlds, right?
Have you guys ever seen, I know most of you watch Casey Neistat, how much his fucking son eats? Like, oh yeah, 2 burgers, a hot dog, a milkshake, and like 4 bags of chips, and then pie afterward.
And he's 100 pounds or something.
Yeah.
High metabolism.
He's just
Right.
like, I'm hungry. And then he just eats.
Yeah. When they go to that like lobster roll shack and they carry back like 4 trays of shit for like 3
Oh,
people.
man.
I've never had a
Sounds good.
lobster roll, but that show makes me want to go get that exact lobster roll.
Yeah.
So good.
If I'm ever in fucking Connecticut.
Right. So how far is that? Pretty far from you? Because that's
Me?
more south, right?
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you Salty. Yeah.
No, that's like 5 hours north.
Really?
I'm in Maryland. Yeah, Connecticut's like New York's here. Connecticut's like here, like right above it.
When I heard Connecticut, I was thinking Carolina, so I was thinking south. I'm not a smart man.
Better guess than I could have done.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Mr. 42 guess my state placement from now
Oh
on.
my god.
He needs to draw a map of the United States without looking at it. That's how he draws it.
Let's not do that.
Oh no, your video. Oh,
Oh, there he's
42, your
back.
video froze for a second.
Yeah, it's probably going to. That's what I was saying.
Is it storming outside?
No, I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
It's like when I boot on my computer now, it says like a little pop-up thing says not enough USB resources available.
Uh-oh. That's
But,
either...
but my webcam is plugged in. My webcam is plugged into a PCIe card, so I don't.
Oh.
But it might not be that saying that the. But I have like nothing else plugged in. I don't
Okay.
know why.
It could be that particular USB slot is not getting enough power. But yeah, I guess next time I would try plugging in your webcam to your board. And if you don't have that much plugged in, why do you have an extra PCI card of USB ports?
That's weird.
Because when I was streaming.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I have 4 USB extension cables that plug into the front of my tower that get routed to the back because I'm just out of USB ports. Anywho, by the way, guys, I've noticed that my voice in these recordings is a little bit lower, so I added 3 decibels of gain in OBS for my mic, so I might sound a little bit lighter or louder. I put speed down a little bit because I had it at 150% in Discord for some reason. Like
What?
speed,
Of all people.
I really love the way that Speed talks, so I just kind of wanted it really loud.
You just like it when I get mad. That's what.
There was a night of Rocket League in the past week where I just have at least 15 to 20 time shifts of Speed just losing his goddamn mind. And Robot has also been boosted up, so if audio needs to be adjusted at all, guys, tag me in chat. Let me know. I am now drinking Oberon. But I just came back from One Eyed Betty's, and I had 2 Monks Sour Ale, which is probably one of my favorite sour beers out there, right next to Jolly Pumpkin has a really good sour ale, too. And they are absolutely delicious. So that's what I'm drinking. Moving right along to what we have been what we've been doing that is not gaming related, just what's been going on in all of our lives lately. So, Mr. SaltySam, we will start with you. What's been up, my man?
Not a whole lot. Last 2 weeks, we had my son's first birthday party last Sunday, and then yesterday we went to one of my lady's friends' first birthdays. That was up like right in DC, and then I've just been like dead to the world.
It's been fucking hot.
Really got on my computer very much because it's been like 1,000 degrees and I've had to do shit like around my house, like get stuff cleaned up and all that. So,
oh man,
it's pretty much it. Just dad shit.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I haven't been doing much. Mostly work. It's been a lot cooler than it's usually been. It's about 85, 90 degrees. So I've been taking my dog walking more because she's getting fat. So
like how you turn to her as if to tell her.
She's over there eating. She's eating some dog foods.
You fat shaming son of a bitch.
But yeah, she's getting overweight and she's getting old. So I'm starting to run her a little bit more. I only ran her for like 30 minutes and she was wanting to lay down, so I had to pick her up and walk her to my car because she wouldn't move. So she's spoiled.
Well, one thing that I don't think about because it's not really an issue around here is after a certain point, the concrete is way too hot for dogs to be walking on, and so I forget that you can't walk your dog if it's that hot. And then if it's just sitting around all the time. Does your dog have a lot of energy? Or is she like mild?
Do you not see her on here?
Yeah, but I just assume that's because you haven't let her out to pee in like 12 hours.
No, she's like that all the time. She's got a lot of energy. But...
You want some crack?
Bella, you go outside? You go outside?
Is it... Yeah. Let me see that pup. Let me see her.
Oh, shit. Come here. Come on.
She's gonna rip those earphones right off your head. Oh my god, she's big.
She's a fat dog.
Oh, she's so cute.
Yeah, she's cute though.
Oh.
She looks like a super sweet dog.
I went over somebody's house a couple days ago, and they had a pit that kind of reminded me of yours, and just like. So fucking sweet, such a sweet dog. Where is this guy? I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this, but this picture that Speed sent me, her eyes are like glowing green, like green and amber yellow, and I was like, so pretty. What was she wearing there? Is that a bow?
I just found a bow on the ground. I put it on her head, and she wore it for like an hour.
Oh, so cute. I love her.
Good girl.
Okay.
But that's it with me.
Okay.
I've pretty much just been doing small house projects, really. Playing a lot of guitar lately. Going out golfing a lot with friends. Just trying to make use of summer while it's still here. A lot of homework recently. I have to the way that my job works, we have to get like certificates. Like there's like levels with my job. So right now I'm a level 2 in my job, and I'm trying to get to my level 3 so I can get a raise. And so I have to do all these like stupid little courses, and it just takes like they take like all evening just for it takes like 2 evenings for one course, and it gives me like 0.6 of credits, they call them, and I need to get 90 credits in order to get my next level. So when each course is only worth like 0.6 of a credit, that's how many of them I have to do.
Yikes.
That's
I used to have to do that kind of shit too for my job.
But you said like you can use that towards getting like higher pay in the future, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I can take that certification with me too. So
Okay. Awesome, man.
So I've been working as usual this week. It was a light week. I've been taking it easy. Hung out with some friends today. Like I said, I ate like a delicious burger. It was cooked medium, headless, bacon, chipotle mayo, and 2 fried eggs on it.
Oh, 2?
2 fried eggs.
Jesus.
It was so good.
Cause fuck it.
Exactly. And then I had a couple slices of my wife's pizza we split. Then we went bowling, which I haven't been bowling in years. And I mean, I used to go all the time. It like when we went to go hang out with our friends, if we didn't want to hang out at the house around the parents, we would have to go bowling, you know. It was cheap, it was fun, a bunch of people could do it at the same time, and you could see a bunch of girls bend over as they're throwing balls around. So it was a good time. I today bowled my best ever. I got a 144, kind of proud of it. Honestly, I think it's the first time I've ever bowled more than 100. So I'm
really
pumped.
terrible at bowling, so I'm with
You
you on
can't
that.
count it if you use the gutter guards, Robot.
I did not use the gutter cards. I did put a few balls in the gutter though. But my last 3 turns were strikes on the final round we did. And it was just like one after the other. It was awesome. And that's about it. So it was good to get out, hang out with some friends, and go bowling. Me and the wife went out late last night. We went out. We got 5 guys. I've been eating a lot of burgers. Oh my god. But other than that, pretty laid back, chill week.
Awesome. These past 2 weeks, I haven't done I kind of did nothing last weekend. I know something happened, but I can't really remember what it was. This weekend, I had some friends that were in town. There was some really good friends that moved out to St. Louis probably about 2 years ago. So they were in town, and we were hanging with them Friday night. And last night, I did a build stream with there was a rapper from Detroit named Doc Illingsworth, and he needed a new computer. And I had seen him from a couple shows. And then he had given me free tickets to one of his shows, so we had been kind of back and forth a little bit. But he produces music like fucking crazy. He's got, I don't know, like 20 to 30 like albums or EPs on his Bandcamp. Like he just does nothing but just writes music, and he writes a lot of beats that people use for their music. So he does a lot of like ghostwriting for other people too. And so he was looking to step up his computer game. And he was like, all right, it's time to build a new computer. So he came over, we built a computer, and we just played his jams pretty much the whole day. Super fun time. Took a little break and then came back for my pre-birthday stream, because my birthday was actually today. So it was streamed yesterday. We played the new Worms. Oh, fuck. I'm going to save what games I played until the next section of the show. And then today I woke up. I helped my buddy move. He was moving from Detroit down to my city, so that was kind of cool. I got another friend that's living in town, and then I'm here. And I actually have a gift that was sent to me, and I was told that I need to open it up on stream. So yeah, so I will take that opportunity to do it now. Except yours.
Who's it from?
I have no idea. I was not told.
God.
But I have an.
It's not for me, so don't worry. You won't get a box.
I'm gonna try and reset my camera. By the way, apparently I
Okay.
think I was on stream.
Should I wait until
Oh, I don't care.
You can't
It looks
wait,
like
Josh.
it looks like I'm moving on Skype, but
It's probably a poster.
Yeah, you've been frozen for about 10 minutes now.
oh, even on Skype?
Yeah.
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 Oh,
For
okay,
me
well,
too.
I'm resetting it.
Oh.
You're fucking. Your fucking AFK picture. It's thinking about it. It's thinking
I'm really
about
hoping
it.
That shows up on the stream too.
I just showed it. I just saw it on the. I forgot I set that.
Oh,
my
man.
god. You're just a spinning circle now.
Oh boy. Well,
You are
if you
nothing.
want me to, I can turn the video off and just show that beautiful.
Well, if you do, all the scene will
Oh,
be fucked
true.
up. So just leave it loading. So here we go.
Okay.
1, 2.
I'm excited.
I know what it is.
I can feel
It's
what
a
it
dick-
is.
Not with a dick butt.
Oh, it's a motherfucking
Yo.
display. I know who the
Oh,
fuck
it's a
that came
display?
from. Yeah.
Oh, it's Yoshi.
42, I love you.
You're
that.
welcome. Man.
Yeah, that had to be 42. He's all about the displays.
For those of you who don't know why this is so special
That's
to me, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this, but
Oh, what are you doing?
Oh god.
Oh.
I can't.
Show us those Megan Fox toes.
Oh yeah. There it is. Oh.
Yo, that is right on. That is
No!
like the exact. That's pretty cool.
I love you, 42.
awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This
See, that's
is-
better than what I would have sent. I would have sent a box of dick.
I know you would have. This is my first
Glitter bomb.
display ever.
You got a room on your wall right behind you too to place it.
I know. And like this is the only thing, like I've thought about putting art up against that wall, but anything that's like, you know, on like a mat or like a frame, I'm afraid that it's gonna be too much, like when you open the door and like in your face, but
Smash.
just cover that wall with display. That's awesome. Thanks, baby.
You're welcome.
Yes.
So there was something significant happened last weekend, and I probably am a dick for not remembering what it was.
Somebody skipped leg day.
I skip all days. Like, are you kidding me? Just all right, moving on to the next part of the show. Alrighty, what games have we all been playing recently? So, Mr. SaltySam, as always, well, please go.
It is. I played a little bit more of No Man's Sky. I'm gonna end up returning it. I'm sure we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
It's a great game, but it's a great game for like 4 or 5 hours, and then I'm just done. Plus, we did another mod pull for GSN Gaming's Arc server, and we added a couple more mods, dragons, and we added resource farming, and that comes with a lot of other stuff too. So I've just been playing a crap ton of Arc again. That's it.
And the needle goes back in.
Right back in.
Not surprised.
I haven't been playing much really because of work, but
Liar.
I've been playing a little bit of Rocket League, some Overwatch. Played some Lethal League yesterday as well as some Gang Beast, and I just started playing some Skyrim today with a new mod I found. It's the Enderal mod. It completely revamps the game and shows everything about it. So, jumping into that, trying to learn the story and play that.
Sweet.
I've just been playing a bunch of Rocket League, still trying to piece my way through Fallout 4 campaign. Lots of Gang Beasts yesterday with the stream, Lethal League, Worms. I feel like I was playing something else, but I can't remember now. So I'll leave it at that.
You still have not finished Rocket League or Fallout?
No, I haven't finished Fallout or Grand Theft Auto yet.
Oh my god. Now I haven't finished Grand Theft Auto yet either because I've lost my progress twice.
Yeah, that's pretty much the reason why I didn't either.
Oh, I'm so pissed. But you played it. You have no excuse because you've played it on 360, on Xbox One, and PC.
Oh,
And you
please,
haven't
I got
beat
it for the multiplayer.
Oh, okay.
We were in
I
bed
played
before.
the entire.
But the
fucking
campaign
story
doesn't
before.
the campaign doesn't carry through those. You can't like if you when I went from 360 to Xbox One, my campaign didn't follow.
Oh, I know. I just assumed you would have beat it
okay.
like the first time you played it or something.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Okay. Yeah.
Am
I up next?
I think
go
so. I
ahead.
was gonna ask 42. It's gone. It's gone. Go ahead.
All right.
So I've been playing Overwatch, a lot of Overwatch. In fact, I just prestige for the first time, and as of today, I hit a level 120.
Jesus.
And I haven't even played all the characters yet. Like I've probably played 6 of them like hardcore, and the rest of them I haven't even touched because I've just been scared to learn a new character, because it's like you're such high level and you get ranked with these really good guys, and then to try a new person and just like completely fail your team because like you have no idea what you're doing is so frustrating. But I just started playing Zenyatta today. He's fun. You just gotta stick with your team, hang back a little bit, and heal speed when he's going balls deep. Yeah. Also ended up like last weekend, I must have played like 20 hours of Rainbow Six. Like 2-3 days straight of just Rainbow Six. It was a lot of fun. And what's really funny is we were playing, we had 4 people in the squad. We had 3 people in the squad, and we're playing with this person, and their name was HP Laserjet. And we started like the first, like, as soon as we got into the match, I'm like, oh God, bro, I'm out of toner. Can you help me? And so we're joking back and forth. And then we hear that 2 of our buddies want to join up. So I'm like, yo, add me on MySpace. Like, they were actually good teammates. So I'm like, yo, add me on MySpace. We'll play later. And so that person ended up adding me. And we ended up playing later, and we found out that she's actually a dev that works on Rainbow Six, and she works at the Montreal office in Canada. So we ended up playing with her, like, and her buddies, like, all weekend, and we had a blast. It was super cool. I put a few more hours. I put in my refund request at 18 hours, and I'm like, I can't take it anymore. And they denied me. Ooh. So I put a few more hours in, and then I saw that there was this news that like anybody could get a refund. You just had to like submit a ticket. You had to keep putting in requests. So I put in another request today. We'll see what happens. But I've only jumped, like, used my warp drive 4 times, and I'm like, this is so boring. Like, it is literally the same thing. Like, even all the resources look the same on every planet, but you have to discover them every single time. It's kind of irritating, but I kind of want to see what happens when you get to the center of the universe or whatever. I don't know.
I don't think it's worth $60 fucking to get.
I know. I'll just look it up on YouTube.
I'll tell you guys after the stream's
No,
not now.
No.
Robot, I'll give you a Tootsie Pop. You can get to the center of that for 25 cents.
Oh, that's so much better. Tootsie
Tell
Roll,
you what
please.
else you get to the center of.
Brace you up.
For my stream yesterday, I got back into Fallout 4, and I'm trying to finish the Far Harbor DLC because the Nuka-Cola World DLC is about to come out the 31st, which is 3 days away. And it actually was a lot of fun. Like, it was I forgot how chill it is. And, you just go around, kill people, blow things up, listen to good music, and chat was fun. I beat Red Dead Redemption this week on stream. The ending, was not expecting it at all. And I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody, but for you people who have played the game, you know what I'm talking about. It was awesome. And then I started the DLC, which was Undead Nightmare. Which is pretty fun. It's not as fun as the main campaign, but it's like the Wild Wild West with zombies, but it's pretty repetitive so far. Um,
I'm gonna be borrowing
but-
that Xbox One of yours to play through that pretty soon.
Well, that's the thing. I've been playing on New Metal. Let me borrow his Xbox 360, so I don't even have a hard copy of the game. He gave me his, so I'm gonna have to return it.
Okay. I'll just buy it.
It's like $10.
Okay.
You can and you can borrow my Xbox One. And as far as games, like that's it. I've kind of wanted to get back into Rocket League.
Yes. Come to the dark side.
It's been a
Needle
while.
shredding.
It's
You gotta
been a
just
while.
reinsert it.
There's very slowly
just-
people are like coming back. Come back for the precious.
Well, there's some people who went like balls deep in it. I think they got burnt out because that's like all they played. And I gave it a break because Rainbow Six and Overwatch came out. It's just like I had no more time.
Yep.
But I added a new piece of hardware to my setup. I ended up getting a Elgato HD60 Pro. It's a capture card. And my very quick review is it's awesome. No latency issues. It's a PCI card, and it's awesome. I'm thinking about picking up a second one. And that's pretty much it for gaming.
What capture card did you have before?
So I have this right now. I have this really weird Japanese card. It's called the SC512. It's made by Solaris, Japan. It's a cool card. It's how like it takes up 2 PCI slots, unfortunately, but it takes DVI and it comes with adapters for HDMI to DVI, and it's got like the old cables, like the VCR cables, VGA or whatever. So if you want to hook up an old like VCR or game console, you can.
Okay.
And it's cool. But I'm not using it to its full potential. And I paid $350 for it. Latency is awesome. It's non-existent. It's just like the drivers and the software has little to no, like just enough documentation in English to get by.
Oh,
And
okay.
the HD60 Pro comes with, it's just it also has a pass-through. So like you can run it in from the console into the card and then out of the card to your monitor. So you don't lose you don't need a splitter.
Oh, okay.
So it's nice. This card does it too, but it's HDMI in and HDMI out.
And
And the software is great for the Elgato.
how much did you pay for that compared to what you paid before?
I actually paid $180 for this capture card on Newegg. Retails $200.
Okay.
And like I said, the Solaris Japan capture card. Again, I'm not using it to its full potential, but it's $350.
Okay.
Which was like, what is the Chinese or Japanese currency? Is it yen?
Yep.
It was 35,000 yen.
Oh my god.
It sounds like so much.
I was like, oh my god. Yeah, it sounds like, but once it's converted to
It's like 100
$350.
yen is like 10 cents or something.
Yeah. So it's a great capture card. If anybody's thinking about getting into streaming, whether it's Xbox or you have a dual stream PC setup.
Do you know,
That's
Robot,
great.
what's the what is like the resolution and frame rate you can get off of it?
1080p 60 FPS.
Is it? Okay, that's good.
Yep. And I know like AverMedia has a PCI card, but it's only 720 60 FPS, which is fine because most people capture their consoles anyways, but I'm capturing another PC, and honestly they're the same price, so I would say go for the Elgato. Their software, you can import it in straight into OBS as a video capture device, or you can use their software, which looks pretty slick. But even like configuring audio and video options within OBS for this card is like really slick. It's really good looking and it's really easy to use.
I went over to a friend's house. They just started streaming and they were trying to get their Elgato, I think it was HD. What's the name of yours?
HD60 Pro.
Okay, so they had the USB 3 version, and
That's the 60, yeah. HD60. And then that's a USB, and then the HD60 Pro is a PCI card.
Okay. So, but they didn't have I don't know if maybe this is an added option in OBS Studio. I couldn't figure out how to get a direct feed of the USB Elgato card into OBS without like 4 seconds of lag. So I don't know if that's something that's addressed with the PCI interface as opposed to the USB 3 interface, but that I thought that was a drawback of the Elgato card, was that you had to use their software in order to push that to a stream, which I thought was really dumb. But maybe it was just an older card on an older computer and it just wasn't working the way it was supposed to.
You don't have to, but it's the USB that's holding it back. I think it's the speeds. The PCI is the way to go, but some people they stream from their consoles using their laptops. So like they don't have the option to use a PCI card. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. USB is it's just not enough bandwidth.
Can you have, like, if you wanted, could you put 2 of those in your computer or 3?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And they would all be recognized as different devices?
Yep.
Okay.
Especially with Studio.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
All righty. Is it me now? I thought I was prepared for this show. And I'm just noticing that my brain is fried. But I was looking down at the script and I'm like, oh God, I haven't typed anything. I spent so much time on the news part that I forgot to fill in the other pieces. But I digress. I just look at my first game in the script, what I accidentally put. Or did somebody change it to that? Because I know for a fact Rainbow Sex is not a thing. Bro. Maybe.
Are you sure?
So I played a tiny bit of Rainbow Six in the past 2 weeks. I've been thinking about getting into that because I've been looking for a first-person shooter to pick up as of lately. And like I've thought about going back to Battlefield 4, but then that's just 120 gigs that I have to put on my SSD, and I'm just like, I just don't want to do it, especially with Battlefield 1 right around the corner. So we'll see. I've been playing a lot of Fallout 4 for my stream. I think I'm coming up on like my 30th hour on Fallout 4, around there. The game is super fun. I'm loving it. Yeah, I know. You Fallout nerds. When we were talking about saves losing, like with your Grand Theft Auto saves robot, back when I was a console pleb and I was playing Oblivion, I remember I was on like my 200th hour, which when it came to console, that was like a lot of time. And I was in the middle of a boss fight and I died at the boss fight. And then it went to go load my only save that I had, and it was corrupted and it was gone. And 200 hours of Oblivion gameplay were just gone. I never played the game after that.
No, that's why I like create new saves like every hour, especially in Fallout 4. Fallout 3, the same thing, because like at one point, like autosave corrupted your save files in Fallout 3. So ever since then, I was like, no, I'm not even taking a chance, when you have that many hours in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I do that at least like 2 or 3 times a stream now, is just do a new save. So ever since then, I've just been like, I wanted to smash my fucking Xbox so bad when that happened. I was actually at Lance's house in his basement, and I had brought my Xbox over because I was like, dude, really? I'm about to beat the final boss. You got to see this shit. And then I died. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll try it again. Don't worry about it. Where's my save?
So you've never beaten Oblivion?
Nope. The save, the save was just gone. It looked like I had no save. I was.
That would be terrible.
I was so sad.
I was talking crap about somebody. Yeah. I was talking crap about how many hours you have in game. I just hit 200.
Okay.
But Lydia, the drunk in chat, like we were talking, she proved to us yesterday. She took a photo from, of her Steam hours in game. 1,500 hours just in Fallout 4. She is a diehard.
Oh my god.
Absolute diehard.
Was it you, Speed, that said you had to be a certain 100 of hours in order to get every single perk in Fallout 4? Wasn't it like 8 or no, what level you had to be?
That wasn't me.
Okay.
Alright.
Somebody in my stream said I think you had to be level 127 in order to get every single perk in Fallout 4.
Yeah.
That I'm not.
Like maxed out.
The perk chart for Fallout 4 is kind of stupid, if you ask
I
me.
like
It's
it.
weird. It's weird.
You what?
You're stupid. I like it.
It sounded way more southern with your sweet tea clanking around in your goddamn stainless steel cup. Clankety clank. I don't know. I guess Fallout 3's was way more simplified. It was like pick a perk and that's it. Pick a perk, pick a pickles. So and like when I think when I first started, Speed was like, make sure you know that you can scroll down, because
So many other perks.
Robot went like 3 streams not knowing he could scroll down. I told him each
Yeah.
time, scroll down, Robot.
I
And
have
he's
no
like, I
idea.
don't have many to pick. There's only these few. And he just went on. Yeah.
Don't listen to fucking anybody.
right.
No. I don't listen to Speed anymore in streams. He's like,
No.
go over there. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
I got him.
Mystical creature. Fuck. It's right there.
You went through the circle. You walked right through it, just talking. He's like, I don't know where any mythical creatures are. It's on the map right beside you.
This was Red Dead Redemption. We had I was focusing so hard because whenever you travel from mission to mission during the stream, that's a great time to read chat and you just kind of ride your horse, but that's when you apparently come across mythical creatures, and apparently I kept just going right past them every single time. And chat, SpeedDemon wasn't very happy with me.
I was there too. I was not happy either.
Yeah, Speed was like, are you kidding me?
There's been
Salty was getting salty.
between Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, there's been at least 3 times where Speed's like, dude, you passed a weapon. There's a weapon, a very powerful weapon on the ground back there. I'm looking. And then 10 minutes later, he's like, oh, JK.
Yeah, he did that. He did that to me on Saturday, too.
The last
I was like,
time,
nope.
it was fine because it was when you found the Death Claw hand in Fallout 4.
Yeah.
But it's still, because it blended into the goddamn ground, I couldn't find it for the longest time.
And he's like, are you lying to me? And I would have been so pissed for him to carry on and leave that there.
Yeah.
I would've-
Boy that cried wolf.
Son of a bitch.
God. So Fallout 4, for my birthday stream yesterday, we played Gang Beasts, which for those of you who don't know, Gang Beasts had an online beta for the past couple months. It was a separate download that you had to apply for to get a beta key. They have officially baked the online beta into the Steam early access release of Gang Beasts. If you want to be able to play online, you need to go into the properties for that game, enable or opt into the beta so you can get the unstable version. Gang Beasts is the only game that I can play on servers outside of the country with 100 to 150 ping and still have the fucking time of my life. Every time we play that game, no matter how bad the lag is, no matter how glitchy it is, you just push through it and hilarity ensues. Speed, you have the link to that
Already
clip.
posted.
Okay. They added a new map to Gang Beasts. It's like 2 giant window washing trolleys, I guess you could call them, that are connected by a bridge. And it's kind of like the elevators. Actually, I'm pretty sure it probably replaced elevators because I didn't see it. Didn't?
No, that map has been around since when that game first came out.
The one we played last night?
Yeah, that one. And then the elevators one that you guys play on the couch stream.
Yeah.
That one came after.
Okay. So there was only 4 United States servers for Gang Beasts Online last night. So we were playing European servers, and the input lag was just absolutely, the latency was absolutely awful. But I was laughing my ass off for so long. I love that game so much. And I hope they keep adding more to it, like more maps or just different type of maps, maybe maps that move that you have to move through and stuff. Because I remember when they first introduced trucks, and I was like, oh my god, this map is the fucking best.
I hate trucks.
You hate trucks? I love
I hate
trucks.
It's probably the funniest one to watch people play.
Yeah.
I'm downloading the game now. So.
Okay, good.
The last person I played that with, especially on trucks, would go hide. He knew exactly how to get into the box of the truck.
Yeah.
And he would just wait there until everybody killed themselves. And then he'd be like, oh, I win. We wouldn't even know he was in there. And he'd be like, oh, it's over. And then it would like pan to him slowly. And he's like,
try Towerfall Ascension. That's actually, we play Towerfall at every couch stream. That's like that's at least one of my favorite couch stream games. You can bet your ass we'll be playing that at the LAN party. So Gang Beasts, a new game called Lethal League, which is, it's like 4 people on a map, and there's a ball that goes around, and you have to either hit another person with a ball to knock them out, or hit the other person's goal with a ball. And game's insane. It's just really hard to explain, but it was a lot of fun. And then, of course, we played the new Worms last night for like 2 hours. Worms, Weapons of Mass Destruction.
was it fun?
It was super fun. Yeah, I wanted to play it again today, but I ended up being out all day. But it was a lot of fun. Each match is like 20 to 25 minutes. I mean, by default, matches are 20 minutes. But if you're playing with some friends, it's a lot of fun. As far as games, I think that is pretty much it for me. I think I'm coming up on my 400th hour of Rocket League. I've been playing Rocket League probably 4 or 5 nights a week as of lately.
Oh my God.
Me, MrFortyTwo, and Mr. Vansman just signed up for our competitive team, the Diggity Dangles, and we're going to be competing in the Rocket League RLCS tournament that's going to have qualifiers pretty soon. Which, by the way, Ideal, if you're watching, you didn't fucking come up with the word dangle. I did. It's been decided. He tried stealing that from me, and I lost my shit. I went a little insane.
Ideal, you can be our cheerleader if you want.
There you go.
Mascot?
Ooh.
Yeah.
You can be a dick butt.
Dang.
What would our logo be for Diggity Dangle? we could.
That's a very good question.
We could just have a
I
shirt
have an
with
idea.
giant titties, double D's, Diggity Dangle.
Yeah,
God.
I think it'd be funny if you put one of the things from the first news article in there instead.
There you
No
go.
Man's Sky.
Yeah, Monster. I think. Then the last time we checked, Monster had like 1,400 hours in Rocket League or something. Monster has an insane number. Jax! Jax! The dog is always panting. I don't think I ever see him not panting.
Look, right there. He just looks down.
What?
Jax!
I was just starting to wave on my camera, and then I remembered. You guys can't even- God damn it!
Oh, man.
Is MrFortyTwo still spinning for all you guys too?
No, he's a dick butt.
No, not in OBS and Skype.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sky.
Okay. All right, that is it for video games that I've been playing lately. So we will move right along to the gaming news and discussion. We have quite a bit of news to talk about tonight. So we will just we'll go ahead and jump right into it. Remember, guys, during the week, if at any time you guys come across news articles that you would like for us to discuss on the show, you are able to submit news articles to the Crocs and Hot Pockets Discord channel that is in the Naaackers Discord. So somebody in chat will throw in the Discord link. But if you guys want to submit news articles for us to talk about, you can do that at any time. And I want I forgot to write in chat, but I want to thank Vansman, SaltySam, Digital Flex, and Trackpad Gaming. MrFortyTwo, I think you're in there as well. Thank you all for submitting news articles to the show. A lot of what you guys submitted made it into the show today, so thank you very much. So let's move on to our very first topic of the gaming and news discussion. No Man's Sky. Let's talk about that. So a lot of us have played No Man's Sky already. Some of us have already returned No Man's Sky. But for the people that have been playing it, I wanted to check in with you guys, see how you feel about the game. Have your feelings changed? Has there been any improvements to the resource or to the performance of the game? So I just want to check in. And I know this is kind of going to be partial to MrRobot and SaltySam, but I want to hear what you guys think. So real quick, I'm going to go through and go over some of the article highlights, and then I'll ask what you guys think about the game so far. So one of the first ones, people are finding dick monsters in game. Now, there's not many words that catch my eye when I'm scrolling through Twitter, but when I see dick monsters, that is an automatic click, my friends. If Robot, you want to be my lovely link lady and throw the links in chat for me, if you're not too busy.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Got it.
Thank you, BB. So people have been scurrying around the No Man's Sky, and they've been finding monsters that look like dicks. And I don't know if this is randomly generated. This is the biggest accomplishment computers have done since War Games with is it Matthew Broderick? So the link is in chat if you guys want to check out what these monsters look like. But there is some significant dick and ballage going on with these pictures.
That
would
definitely
be
a
the
shaft.
double dangles or whatever that.
Yeah,
That's your mascot right
Dirty
there.
dangles.
the diggity
Ideal
dangles.
can get a costume that looks like one of these dick monsters. And he can be Mr. Dangly.
If you
Scroll
go
down a little bit, you'll see a guy's face looking at it.
Yeah. Go all the way to the bottom. It's a picture that has a yellow No Man's Sky tag. It literally looks like a dick with herpes. Like it's got black bumps on the shaft.
Oh.
Strange creature.
Wow.
So thought that was hilarious. So I'll go through these articles first, and then you guys can chime in during or afterwards. The second one. This one is from. I'm sorry. Both of these articles are both from Kotaku. Titled, "It's still not clear why players can't see each other in No Man's Sky." So this is something that we touched on. Speed brought this to our attention, but there's been a very, very tiny amount of people who have found each other, have been on the same planet within No Man's Sky, but have not been able to see each other. Now, No Man's Sky seems to be playing this off as server issues, servers being down, not being able to connect.
Instances.
Different instances, blah, blah, blah. But it's looking like, okay, so have the servers been down ever since the game has launched? Because even though there's a very small chance of people finding each other, there's still a chance that somebody will find another person. And there's been different instances where people have named planets and left, and then come back to find that planet to have a completely different name. So the developers have been very vague on what is possible as far as the multiplayer. And I feel like, even though I'm not a player of the game right now, I kind of feel like I was misled. And again, this is something that Speed has touched on. So actually, I'd rather just get your input on this guy's article right now. So what do you guys think about this right now?
I kind of agree with it. It's not so much that they've misled people. It's more that they just haven't been transparent since the launch.
Mhm.
Like, they've seen the feedback. There's no way they couldn't see the fucking feedback, especially even in like the Steam store. The feedback's fucking terrible.
Is it still terrible?
It's like I'm trying to find it now. I haven't looked
day
at it in
one,
like
it
4
was
days, but
horrible.
let's see, store page. Right now, where the fuck is it?
Yeah, it's mixed right now.
Yeah.
58,000 reviews and it's mixed. Day one, it was like, super negative.
Yeah, mostly
Like, super
negative.
because of all the crashing issues. And then still, even after people got the game running, like, I highly doubt most people on PC actually stuck around to like keep playing it after their PC couldn't run it or without it like crashing. But still, for it to have that many reviews and still be mixed, that's rough.
Yeah, that's fucking Megan Fox thumbs tab is still open.
That means that 42% of the 58,000 people who reviewed the game are only 42% are positive, and the rest are negative.
What I want to know is, back when the very first delay of the game, like when it was the very first release date was delayed, I want to see what the game looked like in comparison to what it actually is now. Like,
Yeah.
was the game really unfinished, or were you guys just buying time because this game is nothing like what it was preached back at E3 2013?
I think it's a little bit of both. I also think that what they've said about DLCs, I feel like it's just going to be paid DLCs after this. I
They
feel like if they're,
confirmed it.
yeah. So
They did confirm paid DLCs.
Sean Murray said they're already working on paid DLC, as it was a
Oh
good
my-
thing. Not,
What?
I don't
Yeah,
think
like,
That's
fuck
ballsy.
you, bro.
I thought they said
an
it was
incomplete game right
$60
now.
so they could
No.
do free DLC.
I said I hope it was $60 so they could do. They never confirmed it.
Speed,
But
son of a
he's-
bitch.
He's talking about releasing paid DLC that they're working on it now, when they
Oh
actually should be
my
working on
God.
features for the base game that we purchased.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Wow.
see.
Hmm.
See, what are you gonna do? Add more fucking planets? Please. There's already 80. How many pentillion?
18 quintillion.
How can see? Another thing too is
That's too much.
it sounds like a made-up word to me. It doesn't sound like it's a real word. How do we even know that there's that many? Is there any way we can confirm that there's that many planets?
I mean,
Well, no.
5 quintillion. It's quintillion's 5, so it's just one more zero than quadrillion.
You know there's some like 350-pound dude in a spacesuit in his mom's basement, and his mission is to find every single planet.
Oh my
God.
I thought they
I mean,
they
it
said that
took
there
them
was
like a
actually
week.
like I thought they said that there was a certain amount of time it would take to actually explore all those planets, and it wasn't possible.
Oh,
Yeah,
for like a
Everybody
single
on the
human.
world was to go and do nothing but try to discover planets that still don't be done in like a million something years. And the way I looked at it, and I still purchased the game, was how much interesting content can you have in a universe that big? Most of your stuff that's like very interesting is the small levels that you can go around and look at. You have Easter eggs, you have interesting options and dialogue, and this is just so big, it's copy and pasted content over and over and over.
Yeah. So my thing with the game is like the first 5 hours of the game were enjoyable because you're kind of like, you know, you're kind of thrown onto this planet that you have a broken down ship and your mission is to fix it. And what is with the mime?
That's like, oh my God, I'm on this planet. Look at all this stuff. It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
bright. My ship is broken. I must get resources.
Oh yeah. Like, you know, so there's a lot of learning and a lot of stuff that's just kind of dropped on your lap. But after 5 hours, other than planets looking different and having different life forms, like it's the same thing over and over again. You might get different dialogues from the aliens that you come across. And the only really unique thing in the game is like what they call the main quest, the Atlas quest. But everything else is the same. It is fun, you know, landing on a new planet, seeing a whole different color palette, tons of, you know, like penis dinosaurs, like that's cool. But after that, it is just the same thing. And it is not even close to the flourishing universe that they showed off. Like if you go and you watch the trailer that they have on the Steam page, like it is nothing like this at all.
Nope.
Like when you pull into a starship or star station or space station,
Starship.
like you have to wait like 2 minutes for like a ship to come in and then another minute for another ship to come in. And they show you landing on this planet and it instantly you being on the planet within 5 seconds. And it's just so different. It is not what they put in, you know, no multiplayer. And I went back and I looked for myself at some of these interviews that they did with, you know, the lead guy, Sean Murray. Is that his name? And
Yeah.
just like all the features that he's like, they'd straight up ask him, Sean Murray, is this game multiplayer? And he'd be like, yes. And or you know, there were so many things that they asked them that it's absolutely not in this game. It is not even on their roadmap in the future, you know. And for $60, this easily could have been a $20-$30 game. And I think if it was, you would have seen way less returns. They might have been able to keep some of that money. But they just lied on so many fronts, and it's pretty boring.
You guys
Even
really boring.
go ahead, Sweet.
Even the like what they released at E3, that planet with, you know, that little GIF you showed where it shows the planet, said this is Jurassic Park, and it did the little ugly little creature walking around. You know, he's playing the Jurassic Park music.
Oh yeah.
Dun,
That
dun,
world,
dun,
He said it
dun.
was it was generated through the code, but they actually had artists come in and build that planet that you were on. So even that was fake, and I haven't
Wow.
came across a planet that good looking yet. Either.
No.
Mhm.
You guys remember the movie The Island with Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah.
Welcome to
Yes.
the island. It is all so wonderful. Have as much sex as you want. Explore this space. There's a beautiful woman. It's like we were lured. The island. And then you
Yeah.
got there. It's like, oh, fuck. People are dying. You have to fight for your life like it's the Hunger Games. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. And then everyone's dead. And all your friends are dead. And you can't find anyone. You're completely alone. Your shit fucking sucks. It has 8 slots for inventory. You can't find plutonium anywhere.
And Steam won't refund.
Yeah.
And Steam will not refund.
You'll not
I have
refund.
put in 3 requests now, and this last one I created a ticket. I'm like, listen, this is my 3rd and final request.
Bro.
Give me my damn money back.
Can I please? There's dick monsters everywhere. I want to get off this planet.
Like, even looking at the screenshots, like, never seen planets. Like, giant robot monsters, never seen one of those before.
No.
The sand planets with the huge freaking snakes.
Yeah.
I haven't
Nope.
seen one of those either.
Speed, can you find that Jurassic Park video and throw that in chat for me? Because that is
No.
like, it's a perfect representation of how my thoughts unfolded when I played that game. And like, I see more fucking sentinels than I did other creatures.
That's
Yeah,
right.
really.
Oh, God. 2 more sentinels. I better run.
Right.
Over and over.
2 things in chat I wanted to bring up. First, Beanbag saying bigger scam than Batman or Superman. I didn't see the movie, but at first I thought you were talking about the Batman game, which was Arkham Asylum. That was
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight. That was totally fucking broken.
Yeah.
I didn't see the movie, so I can't really say. And then Asylum earlier on said, look at it this way, had a ton of peeps streaming it a week ago. Today, highest streamer might have a couple hundred viewers. So yeah, the game stream presence has completely died. And that kind of ties into this next point, which is title of the article on this one comes from PC Gamer. No Man's Sky player base drops 88% after 2 weeks. So they start off this article with just a giant fist in the ass with facts. For the moment, No Man's Sky holds the title for the biggest launch on Steam of 2016. 212,000 people were playing it simultaneously on launch day, according to Steam stats, putting it far ahead of everything else to come out the entire year. But it subsequently suffered a tremendous fall off, shedding 88% of its concurrent user count in less than 2 weeks. This sounds like a lot, but is it? So, in retrospect, having 212,000 people playing your game at the same time, that is a lot.
It's huge.
But if your retention rate sucks, those numbers don't mean anything. When it comes to your paid DLC, you're not going to have anybody buying your DLC because nobody in their right mind who got let down by your base game is going to want to buy, this DLC is going to make it better. This DLC is going to make it easier for me to find my friends. I'm going to find dinosaurs that aren't shaped like dicks and maybe some other creatures that are actually quite interesting. So it looks like their player base has completely tanked. Now, 10% of 200,000 is 21,000. That's still 19,000 more people than are playing Star Wars Battlefront. So I'd say that's a pretty good, pretty significant number. But it looks like their retention rate for keeping people in game after a certain threshold of gameplay hours has just. So
all that's what mattered to them was keeping people entertained for 2 hours.
Yep.
That's all that, and then
Right.
you can't return it.
yeah.
Right?
And I feel like you're definitely going to get a lot of even AAA titles and stuff that have been looked for a long time are going to fall off in some degree, but it seems like an awful lot for like 11 days. It went from 212,000 people to 25,000 people.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
as big of a game as this is, if it was worth anything worth a fuck at all, you're going to at least play it for 11 days.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
for that to fall off in 2 weeks like that, not to mention the actual user counts, like the actual people that own the game on Steam, they've been dropping over time as well. So a lot of people have been refunding the shit out of this game.
Yeah.
Good.
So-
This game is going to show developers they can't do shit like that. Hopefully, people will
or
learn.
it
from
just or it's just going to show them that, hey, if you can keep them entertained for more than 2 hours and pass the Steam refund, like, you know, you might be able to get away with it. Especially with
imagine?
pre-orders and stuff.
Could you imagine the guys who bought this on console?
Oh my, yeah.
Oh yeah, they
I know
can't
a
even
few.
try to return it.
And like,
I've heard
and
a
and
couple.
not only do they not get to return it, but they're stuck at. I'm pretty sure that game runs at 30, doesn't it?
He's back.
What?
He's back. Hey,
I'm back?
beautiful
You're back,
face.
yeah.
Better,
He must have
Pixelated
bumped your
face.
table, and he's gone.
I would have laughed my ass off if you were like naked because you thought you weren't gonna be on camera anymore.
I almost took my hat off, which is almost naked. Can you actually see me, or?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
fuzzy.
Pixelated though.
Yeah, it's
I-
pixelated, but we can see.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's me or if it's Skype, because I mean, I don't know. I haven't changed anything since the last one. So.
Skype is extremely CPU heavy, so if you have a webcam that's going through your PCI, and you're gone.
Oh, he's gone.
If you have Skype that's going through a PCI card, you could be running out of lanes, like lane bandwidth usage, depending on what PCI slot you have that card plugged into. Like if you've got it into a × 4 slot, it might be.
I don't think I do. But...
Dumb.
Oh God, did I actually lose my webcam?
Yeah,
completely?
you're gone. Try unplugging it from your PCI card and putting it in your Mobo and see if it does any
Okay.
better. I'm gonna put Dick Butt back up because that face is one only a mother could love. I'm sorry,
Or-
42. Did you finish? Were you able to finish your point? Because you started saying something.
Well, I was just saying, like, with the guys that have it on console, like, isn't that game stuck at 30 FPS on that?
Yup.
So they got to play that at 30, and then not only that, but they can't even return it.
Yeah,
I've
have.
seen some places where, like, one of the Reddit articles that somebody posted in GSN's Discord about getting refunds on it have said that some people have actually returned it to Amazon. Like people that bought physical copies on Amazon have been able to return it.
That's a
If you
thing.
bought it on like download, yeah, you can still buy physical copies.
But I mean, like, if you buy a physical copy at GameStop, as soon as you open it, that's it. You can't return it.
Oh,
I'm
you
sure
can, but for
people-
$10.
Oh, really?
I'm sure people for Amazon are just fucking lying their ass off. Like, I'm just gonna return this. But it did say it in that article,
Okay.
the one that Arionyx posted.
Oh,
But yeah, for GameStop, you can. I mean, I wouldn't say it's returning, but you can sell it back for $10. So
okay. Because
Yeah.
especially back when it was like you got a CD key on the back of the box. It's like people would just go in, take a picture of the CD key, and then walk out. I don't know why the companies thought that was a good idea whatsoever.
And then the Sims and shit back in those days when you used to have to fucking type in like a 30-letter fucking key.
Oh my god.
Every time you reinstall all the expansions, it took you like 3.5 days.
Dude, I remember being such a fucking horny child, and I remember when the Sims Hot Date expansion came out. I'm like,
making woohoo under the covers.
this is too much for me. My penis is raging. Dude, I played the shit out of some Sims. I loved the Sims. I loved cheating money and just building the biggest badass house, getting a hot wife, making her drown in the pool, getting a new hot wife. Just going in that never-ending cycle.
Putting 18 recliners around a barbecue grill in the kitchen.
Are the new Sims games? Has anybody played like a new Sims game?
I built my girlfriend's computer to play The Sims, like
I
because
remember
Sims
that.
4 was coming out and her laptop was shit, so we
Okay.
couldn't play it. And they're definitely a lot more like story oriented, person oriented now. Like you have attributes and shit, and people can have like random reactions. It's too much fucking work for me. I just want to build big ass houses and burn shit down.
So, okay, it looks like The Sims 4 was the latest one, but I remember having, man, expansions as an. Ooh, there you is, BB. Hello.
Way better.
Back when expansions or back when DLCs were nothing but
His
dick
penis is
42. When you had to go to the store to pick up a DLC, you had to get the DLC CD, and you couldn't use that CD unless you had the base game installed. Kids don't know the struggles we went through.
I don't even know where the fuck. I have like a big giant CD binder that's just like old games and old PC games,
Okay.
and there's like 4.5 pages of fucking Sims games.
Wow.
from the first Sims and the second
There's
Sims.
like Sims 1, Sims Pets, Sims Island.
Yeah,
Just
everything.
It just goes forever.
Sims dominatrix.
Hollywood.
What was
Did you
that?
make it a trash can?
What was that?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Was that a webcam?
That was the webcam I was using. I'm using a different one now.
Whoa, you just chucked it.
Mr. Moneybags
What if it
just
would have
got
hit
a
that
storage.
guitar behind it?
That webcam must have just died on me.
Really?
I just tried plugging it into every USB and nothing worked. It didn't pick it up at all. Plug this one into the first. I plugged this one into USB. It worked right away.
Interesting.
So is it just another 920?
Yeah, I had a second one from when I was streaming. So
You need to check your guitar. You actually hit it when you threw it
no, I
behind you.
didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. I hit the pedal for it. It's fine.
Chat.
Fuck it.
If you guys fucked with some Sims in your gaming life, put a 1 in chat. Let me see those ones because I know we all did. We're all such horny bastards. We had to create fake women in video games to feel love. Oh fucking god. All right, so tying into our last point, Mr. SaltySam and Mr. BadBadRobot. I want to get your guys's. I'm gonna make an ass out of you and me, and assume that you both are done playing the game. So, what are your closing thoughts of No Man's Sky? Because this is most likely the last time we'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah. Salty.
I
you go
would
first.
say my closing thoughts are I can't wait for Star Citizen to come out.
Oh,
Because I
Yeah.
think No Man's Sky hit a perfect niche that needed to be filled by all the people waiting on Star Citizen to come out. And then Star Citizen at fucking Gamescom came out and shit on the entire industry with that fucking amazing demo playthrough.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's the same thing with No Man's Sky. The trailers we were all seeing before were amazing.
Well, this is multiplayer.
Yeah, but this is proven. This is at the very least proven multiplayer. I don't give a shit if the rest of it's fucked up. As I've actually seen people play this shit together on separate computers.
See,
I can be in the same. I can have like I'm in the cockpit. My buddy's sitting next to me. He's and then we got a buddy in the back on the guns, and we got some guy molesting the prisoners in the back. Like there's so much you could do. You have all your buddies in the same ship, and you can go into light speed and land on a planet. And
I cannot wait to have everybody in one ship, and I'll be in the captain's chair, and I'll spin around. I'll be like, "Put the power to the shields." And just go in. Just...
Hold the line!
I don't know how to drive this thing.
And then we all
Power to
die.
thrusters! We're going out here.
Bait me up, Scotty.
Okay, did we ever see any true No Man's Sky gameplay before the
Not
launch?
There were
Player.
screenshots.
Not
Like,
multiplayer.
Okay.
Screenshots.
That's the thing. Star Citizen has already been showing first-person shooter footage. They've been showing space exploration footage. They've been showing
do it now.
flying. Yeah. So we have a better inclination of what the game is actually going to look like.
And you can play it.
Yeah.
I have Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't downloaded the new patch, but
Yeah, I need to
Have
re-download again. I spent real money on a ship, and I haven't.
I didn't.
I
got
looked
for-
at it in
I
my
got the
hangar,
entire game for free.
and I was like, the ship I got it's pretty dope. But I
I
already want
actually
to buy
got that
like
game
10
for
other
free
ships.
when I built
How much did
my
you spend on that
girlfriend's
ship?
computer.
$100.
Oh,
what is wrong with
you
you?
pre-ordering son of a bitch.
I did. I totally did. Hold on.
I want to see a picture of this ship. I want to know if it was worth it, Robot.
I don't even know. I have to log in. I don't even remember the name.
We better
of it.
all be able to fit in that ship for it to be $100.
I'm pretty sure. I think I can like knock you out and put you in one of the capsules in the back. Like I know I can carry 2 passengers, but in my sex dungeon in the back of my spaceship.
I got so hyped for No Man's Sky, and I mean I should have known based on the fact that it was delayed so many times and all this stuff, but I got so hyped for it that now I think I have trust issues with these game developers. Like I don't give a shit if you're gonna release these great demos and all that shit. Just make the game work when it comes out.
Yeah.
Please.
Yep.
Please.
This is why you just don't say anything until the games come out. Because like you were saying before, Robot, they've got all this footage of, yes, this is multiplayer. Yes, you can play with your friends. Oh, it's going to have this. It's going to have that. And then it comes out and just, it ain't.
Yep.
It fucking ain't, bro.
I didn't buy it right off the bat, but after like a couple days of GSN, like everybody getting into it and everybody starting to play it, I bought it, and I definitely haven't played it since like the second day.
Wow. So, Robot, you said that you applied for another refund.
I did. I put in another refund request, and it automatically got denied, but by their automated system. But they said you need to like create a ticket with their support, so it goes to a human, and that like Steam, Sony, Amazon, like everybody has been actually redeeming or like sending refunds for people who have played more than 2 hours. So like I said, I mean, all the points, my closing thoughts about the game is like it wasn't a $60 game. It got boring after 10 hours. I'm kind of intrigued to see what's at the center of the universe, but I don't care that much that I need to put 30 more hours of repetitive gameplay just to get there.
I was reading a review that had it blacked out where if you moused over it, it showed what happens, and you're not missing nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and I just
go ahead.
And I just think like the devs, if they were upfront about what you could do in the game and they were transparent before the game came out, they wouldn't have run into these issues, but they decided to hold
a lot
back.
of people wouldn't have bought it.
A lot of people wouldn't have bought it if they, if they knew, but a lot of people, they buy into the hype. And I mean, I didn't pre-order it. I bought it like 2 days after it came out because I was just like, you know what? I just want to give it a chance. And like I said, it had me intrigued for more than 2 hours, but I also spent like 3 hours troubleshooting and just trying to get the damn thing to run at more than 10 frames per second. So that's 2 hours is not a fair amount of time to tell if the game is worth it or not.
Yep.
I think Steam needs to up that. They know that. They just don't want people like crazy abusing it. And
2 hours
yeah,
of
Star
playing
Citizen.
any kind of game brand new off the bat.
I think it should be game dependent basis. If it's a game that's decently priced and they know it's going to be done in 4 hours, you don't get a refund for it. Now, like for example, No Man's Sky, since it was supposed to keep us entertained, they promised 60 hours of entertainment. They should be able to at least review it and look at it. Like, they put 18 hours into this. They explained how or what they were doing and the problems they were. Should we give them a refund? But I mean, if they did that, how many refund requests would there be, though? That's why they have the automated system.
Yeah. By the way, so my 2 ships, I have 2 ships. I have the Aurora and the 300i. So I have those 2. I basically looked at them in my hangar. I've jerked off to them, and that's about it. I haven't even gotten to fly them yet. But I'm keeping a close eye on Star Citizen. They are going so balls deep into details into this game. Like, if you haven't watched the 50-minute version 3.0 playthrough demo, like, it's buggy. They're still working on it. But it was just like, can you imagine? Like, that would suck you in, like, completely. Yeah. You wouldn't. Rocket League would be a thing of the past if
like
someone
Second
played that
Life.
game. That's Second Life.
Serious.
Yeah. So
It's
No
fucking
Man's Sky
insane.
was a huge disappointment, and I'm looking forward to what,
I hope it gets big in GSN because, like I said, I want to be in a fucking multi cruise ship going and raiding or discovering
mining.
shit and
Yeah.
doing stuff. So.
Yeah.
One final point I wanted to bring up about No Man's Sky. So, would you guys all agree that if you pay $60 for a game, you should get 60 hours of enjoyment out of it in order to get your money's worth?
An
Dollar
hour
an
a
hour.
dollar seems great.
Okay. I can't remember who originally brought that idea, but I know it was somebody within GSN that first brought that idea or whatever. I was like, you know what, that sounds about right. That sounds pretty good. So the No Man's Sky, it was out for 11 days, before the huge tank in their player base. If somebody played for 6 hours, every single one of those 11 days, they would have 66 hours in the game. For a game that was preached to be like never-ending fun, never-ending space exploration, finding new things, do you
Space battles, multiplayer.
Yeah. Do you think 66 hours in No Man's Sky is enough to know whether it was a good game or not? Or do you do you think the tank in the player base is because people got their money's worth and they're just done? Or do you think that tank is because of the game is just nothing to what they advertise it as?
I think it's number 2.
I think it's number 2.
Okay.
Number 2.
Because Battlefield 4, you can put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours in. Fallout, Fallout is an insane amount of like quests and things you can do, but Battlefield is the same exact thing every single time. Rocket League is the same exact thing every time. Those first-person shooters, Rainbow Six Siege, even though you're playing different people, it's the same game every single time. And I just feel like it's just like, okay, you charge $60 for that game. What? I don't even know what the point of the game is. I know there's a point to get to the center of some fucking twat in the fucking black hole of space, but what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. And I just feel totally gypped that game would cost $60. It's just, and for how long we were teased for this game. Like I feel more let down with No Man's Sky than I did with Battlefront. Even though I played way less time in No Man's Sky.
Battlefront lasted a day, I think. No lie.
I
I
played
gave
way
it a
more
week.
Battlefront. Yeah, I probably put a good 20 to 25 hours into Battlefront, I would say.
Yeah.
After the first hour of No Man's Sky, I was like, I'm already thinking about refunding this, unfortunately. But, all right, so No Man's Sky, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna look back on this episode in like a year and just remember us talking about this and be like, God damn it, No Man's Sky. But hey,
Son of a bitch.
I don't want to hold it against the devs. It's like they probably they probably have an idea for a game, and then you get into the development and you realize, okay, technology can only get you so far with the idea that you have. So is there any other big games that they have developed that we know
Yeah,
about?
I'll search them.
Okay.
See, the thing is with this, if you only have a lot of people are using the excuse they only have 15 people in their team working on this. If you only have a certain amount of people working on a team, don't promise the world to everybody.
Right.
Yep.
Don't promise a multiplayer that's most likely not in the game. No one has yet to find another player. So just all the fake promises that were broken and the features that were not put in the game that aren't even in the upcoming updates for a year that we were promised.
Yeah. Okay, here's another question. If there was a game that was $60 that was single player but took you 30 hours to complete, would you be okay with that?
No. Because I don't play single player games.
Okay. What about you, 42?
Ever.
No, not for that price. No.
Okay. Speed, Robot, what do you think?
Probably not.
Okay. So, would you be even more upset if there was a multiplayer game that was $60 and only gave you 30 hours of enjoyment? Or do you hold them at the same level?
I would be more pissed about a single player game just because if I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, I like playing with other people. It doesn't matter if it's just one other person. But if I'm spending the money to sit and watch, to sit and play a game by myself, I want it to be enough to keep my attention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Multiplayer, I've got a shit ton of multiplayer games I've got like less than 10 hours in. Shit
Okay.
tons of them.
Yeah.
Like my entire library for the most part.
See,
The
but
This
Go
is the
ahead.
first game I've ever tried to refund. No Man's
Yeah.
Sky.
Ditto.
mine as well.
Ditto.
I looked up and I actually put the links in chat. The only games they have come out with are Android and iPhone games, and I think a PS Vita, which is Joe Danger, which is. If I would have looked at this, I probably would have not bought No Man's Sky.
Oh.
Like looking at their track record and being
Yeah,
like,
look at-
oh my god.
Well, it's not
it's
bad,
pretty
but
bad.
the games they've made to the one that was promised is huge.
Yeah.
It's
a lot
a
of their
huge
games
leap.
look like Minecraft,
Yeah,
but
for
on
sure.
a phone.
I was gonna say with Naaackers when you were saying about the $60 multiplayer game that only got 30 hours. To me, a multiplayer game you should be able to replay it a lot. If it's a multiplayer game,
Yeah.
you should be able to, like if we're talking multiplayer like Rocket League or Battlefield type thing where you can play with a bunch of friends, you should be able to play way more than 30 hours. So I would be more pissed if I bought a game that was multiplayer for $60 and only got 30 hours. I'd be more pissed about the multiplayer one than the single player one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of games you can beat within 30 hours as single player. Call of Duty. A lot of you like Call of Duty. You beat the campaign in 8 hours, but again, the multiplayer is what keeps you
Yeah.
playing for
Right.
hundreds of more hours.
Here's
So
two other examples. One, Asylum actually just read my mind. The Last of Us or Bioshock Infinite. Both games you can beat under 30 hours. Totally worth the $60 mindfuck that I've had for the past 2 months of my life.
Exactly, but the experience and everything that went into that game,
Yeah.
oh, it's so much better. It's like I would totally like the campaign in No Man's Sky is literally, oh, I go to this planet, oh, and then I go to that
I
planet.
get enough shit to go to
Oh,
the next
and then I go to
planet.
that planet.
Right.
Yeah,
Enough shit to go to the next planet.
and some weird alien like yells at me, and it's just like in BioShock was this experience that like had you emotionally connected to it, and you wanted to cry at the end. I know, I love you. I love you.
Don't search Bioshock porn on Pornhub. You won't find anything good.
it will ruin.
it. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Especially when it's Booker.
I've never seen Elizabeth with a dick before until last weekend.
Are you sure it wasn't a strap on?
Oh my god.
There was a gooch. There was a definite gooch that I saw connecting the balls in the butthole. All right.
Why was you there? What led you there?
Okay, if there was a troll in chat last week that posted
That was the important thing that you forgot from last weekend.
me in Bioshock porn for like 8 hours. That's right.
Whoops.
Oh god. Okay, so I think we can officially close the book on No Man's Sky. We'll see you next
Bye-bye.
time for No Man's Sky 2 or not. You fucking crushed our
I doubt
dreams.
it.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe what is it, Joe Danger 2 we can look forward to? Was that the
Oh, maybe
There's
Man's
like
Sky.
15 Joe Dangers.
I'm gonna just throw this straw poll in chat now regarding No Man's Sky. I want to get your guys' feedback. So it's did you refund No Man's Sky? I just want to see how many of you guys bought it, and if you did buy it, if you returned it, or if you are still playing it. From what I've been reading in chat, it seems like you guys are all on the same page with us. I know there's a couple of you that have been thoroughly enjoying it, but it's okay if you do. It's okay if you do. Moving on to the next point. That was only, 50 minutes of No Man's Sky? But that's the best part of this
45
show.
minutes.
We don't give a fuck. We just talk.
That's
Fuck it.
right.
We do it live. Rainbow Sex. Okay, so next up, this one is actually pretty excited. I haven't been excited for mobile gaming for a while, but this got me pretty erect. NVIDIA stuffs 1060, 1070, and 1080 into laptops. So MSI, Asus, Alienware, Lenovo, and Razer have all been manufacturing laptops as of late that usually have been coming with the mobile series of dedicated graphics in laptops. So the 960M, 970M, all that good stuff. But as of this past month or two, they have been creating laptops that have full-blown desktop GPUs inside of them, and they are getting insane performance bumps. So one of the most common laptops is the Razer Blade, which is actually a Razer product that I would consider because it's not really a Razer peripheral that is manufactured by them. It's a bunch of other people making computer parts. So it's actually something I would consider buying. But just to compare kind of how the specs are of these dedicated graphics to the desktop versions, CUDA cores of a GTX 1080 desktop, 2500. Same exact for the 1080 inside of a laptop. The core clock is only 50 megahertz less in the laptop than it is in the desktop. You have the same memory bus bandwidth, you have the same memory speed, you have the same memory bandwidth, and you have the same amount of memory size. So, 4 gigabytes of DDR5 or 8 gigabytes. So even if you were to get a 1060, which has 6 gigabytes of DDR5 and has like a 1400 megahertz clock speed, that is still a really fucking beefy graphics card for a laptop. And they're not insanely priced like they usually are. Like a gaming laptop a couple years ago, if you want something that can play Battlefield, you're spending $1,500 to $2,000 easy. And now the low end of these laptops are starting to come in at the lower end of like $1,000, which is awesome. So what do you guys think about these laptops? And even if you didn't really have a need for a mobile gaming machine, is this, if you were in the market for one, is this something you would consider? Or would you go along the lines of having a regular laptop and buying an external GPU enclosure for the laptop? So, Salty, I will start with you.
I mean, it's still a toss-up. The biggest issue with any laptops, period, is going to be heat and thermal throttling on your GPUs. I mean, you're not going to have that fucking thing sitting in your lap and playing for 3 hours. Like, it'll melt your nutsack to your leg. So, I mean, if I got to buy all the other shit, cooling fans and, a mat, and then I got to buy a mouse and everything, fuck it. I'm not.
You can play with a trackpad.
Trackpad, man.
I used to play all the time. Like, I still have a shitty old laptop that's literally in this fucking drawer back here that has like Left 4 Dead 2 on it. That's all I can fucking play. Like, it sucks ass. But no, I if I was going to buy one, I would probably go with the Razer just because I've heard so many awesome things about it. But I just can't trust spending $2,000 on something that's I'm not going to be able to fucking do what I can do here.
Yeah. Real quick before we move on to the next person. These laptops, they are starting to make with 120, 144 hertz displays, some with 4K displays, but I don't really think you can notice 4K at 17 inches or 15 inches, but they're still doing it. Whatever, marketing scheme. But having a laptop that can push 100 frames per second on 120 and 144 hertz monitor is insane. So, MrFortyTwo, I'll let you go next.
Speed next.
Speed, you motherfucker.
I wouldn't buy a laptop. I do enough gaming on my desktop. I honestly probably would never use the laptop other than like searching YouTube or watching Twitch. So a $1,500 laptop, or what was the price for these? Like 800, 900?
The Razer Blade, I think, comes in around 1,500. I'm not saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't spend that much on a laptop.
Where did that article go? Hello.
Yeah, I don't think it makes sense for people who have desktop gaming.
It says prices will vary wildly depending on the laptop, but NVIDIA says GTX 1060 systems will go as low as $1,300.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
It's not a bad price, but it's just like, am I going to fucking use it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
If I was on the road 24 hours a day, absolutely, I'd spend my last dollar trying to get something I could actually enjoy. But
Yeah.
College
guys
In my
like
current
us.
state of affairs, I don't fucking leave my house, man. So
college
Yeah.
kids around the nation are just. I would be.
Exactly.
yeah,
For
right.
guys
I'd
like
still bring
us-
this big son of a bitch to college because there's no way anybody's gonna be able to steal this motherfucker.
That is true. That is true. Except then you
Fucking
couldn't
80
game in class unless you
True.
bought that fucking super tower. Sir, what is that? Oh, this is my notebook. I take
My
notes.
Cosmos, I use it for
You come in
notepad.
like 10 minutes early to set up your desktop computer in the classroom.
Well, there's a whole subreddit for mechanical keyboards, and there's kids who bring their fucking MacBooks or their laptops to college classes and then pull their 60% keyboard out and just slap it on top. Cherry MX Blues just
Those
slapping
nice,
away.
man.
What an asshole.
God,
Just opened up so many windows.
I did too. All right.
SpeedDemon, any closing thoughts?
Oh, that's about it with that. I'm not going to buy a gaming laptop when I have a gaming desktop.
Word.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the only time that I ever used my own laptop for gaming was when I went over to my parents for Christmas, and I was like, I gotta be able to play something while I'm over there because I'm not going to sit there and watch the. Do you guys actually? I was going to ask this too. Do you guys have the Firelog channel during Christmas? Is that something you guys do down
like
there?
the Yolog?
I don't know.
It's
They just have
normally-
like a
It's normally
TV
on,
channel.
like the public access channels or something, like the really shitty
Where
channels.
it's like it's a fireplace?
It's
It's
just a fireplace all
video of a
Yeah,
fucking day
yeah.
on Christmas. Like,
fire-
oh,
What?
I've
Yeah,
never
it's-
seen that.
it's
Oh
a big
my
you need to
yeah.
look that shit up. It'll have like like Christmas music on in the background.
What?
We always
Yeah.
put it up because like my house, we don't have a fucking fireplace. So
Ours doesn't even have Christmas music. Ours is just a straight firewood noise. It's actually pretty
Firelog
soothing.
channel?
But anyway, so I like the thing I don't understand. Like, I can understand people that want to use these gaming laptops for gaming because they don't want to get a big bulky PC. But like Asylum said in the chat earlier, like you have to have you're gonna have to have your power cord plugged into the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to be gaming, you're probably going to want to use a mouse. So you're probably already sitting at a desk because, like you said, you're not going to put the thing on your lap. If you have to have it plugged in, it's got to be somewhere where you can set it down and have it plugged in. So it's like, for how, and like the only thing, like, yes, college people, that's probably the only people that would use this because they have limited space and all that stuff. But if you're going to be doing hardcore gaming on it, then just get a PC and just set it up somewhere where you can use it.
well, and I mean, the one thing I'll give them, and this isn't changing my mind by any means, but the one thing I'll give them is at least with the 9 and 10 series cards, the power usage has been lowered by so much for the performance that
Yeah.
it's actually somewhat feasible to put a full card in, but I know how much fucking heat these things can make when they're not cooled off properly because I have totally melted entire fucking graphics cards in my computer.
Yep.
So
Viper
just-
in chat was saying that the 1080 is the only card that is going to be close. From the specs that are being shown in this article, that is not the case. They're showing for the 1070, the laptop version actually has 1,000 more CUDA cores than the desktop version. I don't know why that is. That might be a typo. But there's only maybe 100 megahertz difference in the core clock, but the memory bus bandwidth is the same, the memory speed is the same, the memory size is the same. So these GPUs and these laptops are almost directly comparable, if not maybe 5 to 10% less, performance wise, but it's still a lot. And I mean, this article came out last week, so and they're starting to push out these laptops and actually test them, and there's people playing Overwatch 120 frames or 100 plus frames on 120 hertz monitors, and they're looking insane. And the laptops aren't huge. Like, Robot, you remember your first Toshiba gaming laptop?
I was gonna bring that up.
I'm sorry. Then go right ahead before I fuck you in the butt.
No, it's okay. Just talking about it, like I have owned when I was in college, and I had a tower PC, And then it just got old. I sold it, and I didn't have the money to like build the system I want. So I went out and I got a Toshiba gaming laptop. It was how's it, Quasimodo? I don't know.
Quasimo?
Quasmio?
It's QOSMIO.
Yeah.
That's what I had the same one.
Okay. So like it was a 17-inch laptop. It was like this thick. The power brick was heavier than the goddamn laptop.
It was hot.
Huge, and it got hot. But I was a college student. I was traveling all the time. And then, I worked 2 jobs and then I had school. So that thing came with me everywhere. And I played Half-Life on it. I played COD 4. I played Counter-Strike, Source on it. Like I did a lot of gaming. And it was great that I had that, but it was still underpowered. But these days, like for guys like us who have battle stations set up, gaming laptops don't make sense. But for college students and people who are on the move,
Truck drivers,
like we have a few people in GSN who are on the move all the time and they disappear. And I even know Xander, like he got a gaming laptop and he loved it. The problem with gaming laptops, like up until now, you got a 1080 screen. And it was 60 hertz and there was nothing. So it didn't matter to get a full desktop class GPU because you couldn't even push more frames than 60 without getting horrible screen tearing anyways.
Yep.
So it didn't make sense. Now you're getting 4K, you're getting 1440, high refresh rate monitors. Now's the time to get those full, GPUs in there with the lower power usage and stuff. And oh, by the way, my laptop battery lasted a whole 3 hours on a charge. It was awful.
So bad.
I think it's awesome. I think laptop and mobile gamers have been getting shafted with technology, and it's all that technology crammed into the smallest space. Thermal, throttling is an issue, and and like once you buy a configuration, you can pretty much swap out the RAM and then the battery if you need it.
Yeah.
So it's like once you get something, you're stuck with it. Us PC gamers, we love being able to swap in parts all the time. I need a new GPU, blah, blah, blah. So I think they're awesome. I think it's great that mobile gamers get the chance to have more powerful cards, better screens, and can still keep up with us desktop people. It's not going to be the best, but it's enough to get them, a good experience with PC gaming. So I think it's cool. I don't need one. If for some reason me and the wife decide to like cross country or just like, go on a road trip, I'm going to get a gaming laptop like one of these with high refresh rate. And so I can still game. But right now I don't need it.
I posted a link to the gaming laptop that I got. I remember it was in my first year of college, community college, easy there, easy. And they were like, hey, you can get a $1,200 grant in order to help pay for textbooks. I'm like, cool, gaming laptop. And I went to Best Buy, picked up a Gateway FX gaming laptop, 17-inch. That thing, my battery wouldn't last. Like if I had it on the battery power on high performance, it wouldn't last 2 hours. It would not even close. But that thing had a CD drive. It had gigabit Ethernet. It had HDMI. It had VGA. It had DisplayPort. It had like 4 USB ports. This thing was like a fucking monster. And it was awesome. I used that thing for so long. Mine never died. I actually was able to sell it on eBay for like $400 less. That's back when you could actually get money for used computer parts. And that, other than I had a weird what's the name of the issue if you have like a shade of blue when you can see the lines of where the hue banding monitor banding. That was an issue it had, but I remember when I bought it, like it was like all of the laptops and then the Gateway FX, And then up in the corner of the booth, it was like, yes, it can play Crisis, and it had like the Crisis guy with his gun. And I was like, yeah, because I remember they actually had this computer on display with Crisis running, and it was showing that it was getting 60 frames running the very first Crisis. Because like it's a huge joke in the gaming community. Like, can you run Crisis? Can you fucking run it? But that was
not even a joke though.
No,
like, Crisis is fucking insane.
This was a legit problem.
They still benchmark games playing Crisis. Like it's still
the Crisis engine is still the fucking end all beat all.
Yep. I remember the one of the very first demos I saw, they showed you shooting a couple of explosive barrels and then all of the barrels exploding into the air. It's like seeing fireworks for the first time.
It was cool. It was so
or like
cool.
Hillary Clinton seeing the balloons at the Democratic convention. Whoa! Yeah.
I like balloons.
I like balloons.
Yeah.
So that was, I remember that gaming laptop being awesome, and they don't make them that big anymore. It's finding a 17-inch laptop is kind of difficult nowadays. They don't make them as much as they used to. So
They're gonna pay for them for sure.
Yeah, my laptop had huge Harman Kardon speakers, and the thing was glossy, so there's fingerprints everywhere. It had a CD drive in the front. I actually put a link of the laptop. I found it.
Oh, you did?
Search. Yeah, I had to search like
big.
2005.
oh my god.
This thing was gigantic, but it was the most powerful laptop they had out at the time. Like, it was the best. I think I spent like $2,300.
Yeah.
on
Jeez.
it.
Wait,
Son of
you
a
spent
bitch.
$2,300 on a laptop because you couldn't afford what you wanted. What did you want at that time?
No. I still had to be mobile.
Okay.
Yeah, I still had school, but I mean, I got a freaking Best Buy credit card, and I was making payments on that bitch. I didn't pay cash for years. I was a college student. Yeah, for years. And now it's gone.
I remember when that motherboard fried and you took it to go see how much it was to get replaced. They're like, oh, like $1,500, easy. It's like, oh, dear
Yeah, I just left it there. I didn't even go pick it up. I just
Fuck
left
you,
it at the
geeks.
place. Yeah, I'm like, I'm out.
all right.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts on the gaming laptops of the century?
Nah.
Okay. I don't have a need for one, but every time I go on vacation, I'm like, man, I could really use a $2,000 gaming laptop right now. So it would never get
literally
used.
brought this entire fucking rig on vacation with me multiple times.
Oh my god.
Like, fuck it. When I first joined, some of you guys probably remember this. I know Robot may remember this. When I first joined GSN, when I was just becoming a member, I think it was, I started in April, so April, May. That was probably right around when I got member. I went on vacation in North Carolina to the beach, and we rented like a big ass house, and I used to do it every single year. The first year I went down there, I had like all this shit in the back of my car in my HHR.
I remember that.
Had it
Oh
set
my
up
God.
downstairs, like microphone, webcam, fucking everything. And the internet in the house sucked balls. I even brought my own like modems and everything.
You would.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm gonna do it again in November too. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
At least now I have a truck.
Yeah.
There you go. You can haul it no problem. All right, cool. Moving on to our final news discussion article of the night. Rocket League competitive maps. What do you think? So this was submitted by Mr. Vansman maybe like a week ago, and it was a screen cap of a conversation of not the official Rocket League Twitter, but a pretty reputable Rocket League affiliated Twitter, talking about certain maps within Rocket League that might be making it into competitive. And I wanted to bring this conversation up because I wanted to get your guys' input and see if like my thinking is fucked up or if their thinking is fucked up. So as you guys know, 90% of the Rocket Leagues. I saw that robot. Okay, that's okay. That's all right. I'm just gonna make you dick butt now. I'm just gonna move dick butt. I'm just gonna go right over there and goodbye.
No!
Okay, so most I guess maybe before Rocket Labs came out, 90% of the maps were all the same size, all the same ceiling height, all of the same curves and the walls and everything. And then they released Wasteland, which was a completely different map. It was more square. The curves on the top and the bottoms were way smaller. The curves around the edges of the map, like the walls, were much wider, much more obtuse, and it completely threw off everybody. And since then, they have added a couple Rocket Labs maps. There's a new map that is officially in competitive rotation called Neo Tokyo that is a flat surface, and then there's ramps, and then another flat surface, and then the wall. Much different. So there's a lot of discussion going on saying, okay, these sort of competitive maps in ranked is a good thing because it keeps pros on their toes. You got to learn how to play different maps. That's all good and fine. My thinking when it comes to these maps in competitive matches is, let's take Rainbow Six, for example. The point of the map is to either get the hostage, find the hostage, or disarm the bomb. And the maps are different, so it's always everything's a little bit different, but the base part of the game is pretty much the same. In Rocket League, all of the maps are completely the same, but then there's two maps that play completely different than all the rest of the maps. There's, like I said, there's people who think, okay, this is completely fine. It keeps pro players on their toes. But in my head, I look at these two maps that play completely different, and I think of, in retrospect to Rainbow Six, it's like if all of your maps bullets went at 100% speed, and then these two maps bullets went at 60% speed. Like it's a dynamic of the game that completely changes, that throws everybody off. Do you think the way that these maps are shaped is kind of comparable to that, like changing a major dynamic of a game, or do you think I'm totally fucking crazy?
I don't know. I don't think that's the dynamic. I mean, if you think about any other game that has competitive multiplayer, let's say CS:GO. I don't play it, but like they have different maps that they play on, and they're all different. They all have different,
strats and everything to go with them.
Yeah, strats and stuff. So I think Rocket League players are going to have to adapt to the levels. Like, if CS:GO players are playing on Dust 2, they're going to play differently than if they're playing on Castle or, Office, I feel like,
rebuttal while you think about that. But the new Rocket League maps change the way you can jump off walls. They change the way balls move off of walls. There are certain parts of those maps where balls bounce differently than they would bounce in a normal map. So it's changing pretty big characteristics of the map. Like there's not certain CS:GO maps that make you run a little bit slower, or there's not certain maps that alter your mouse sensitivity at all. Like there's nothing that actually changes that part of the gameplay. But there are these Rocket League maps that are making the ball do weird shit. They're making your cars do weird shit, and it's changing that aspect. And
it's the same physics though, and it's just a different map, and it's instead of it bouncing, instead of if it were to bounce there on the other map, it's a hard corner, but here it's a curve, so yeah, it's going to bounce differently. But I don't think that's the same as when you're on this map, you move in slow motion, or like your sensitivity changes. Yeah, I don't think that's. I don't know, and it's different because in like CS:GO, your bullets go. Yeah. Okay.
See, I think the way that I kind of look at it is that if you're playing Rocket League,
Pogo.
You're in control of your car, and that's it. So, I think the way that it should work with competitive in Rocket League is that because the players are responsible for driving their vehicles, and they're supposed to hit the ball a certain way. The pro players know how to hit the ball every single time a certain way to make it go a certain direction at a certain speed. If the pros can't figure out how to maneuver these different maps to get the ball in, and half the time they're in the air anyway. They don't play on half the time they're not even driving on the ground. It's like, if they can't figure out how to jump up in the air and hit the ball a certain way on every single map, then you're not a pro. Like, to me, that's just the way I think of it, is if you're a pro, you should be able to adapt to every single map. And if and if these guys, like, I understand with Wasteland, because I know there's like the term "you got wastelanded" with the physics in that map. That map is terrible for that, and I don't know if that's a physics issue that they have to work on with that map. But like Neo Tokyo, if Neo Tokyo goes into rotation as a competitive map, then I'm okay with it. Wasteland, I'm a bit iffy on. The other thing is, though, with RLCS, is that in that you pick your map.
Oh,
at least in the group stages, right? But when they get farther into, like, when we watch the online final for it, that's predetermined. They the tournament tells you what map you have to play on.
Okay.
Oh, so Mr. Mansman just said in chat a little while ago that Neo Tokyo and Wasteland are in RLCS League play.
Yeah. But that's fine, because you have to. I'm pretty sure that we have to play on a specific map. They don't.
I don't fucking like it. I don't like it one bit.
Your webcam did a really good job of fucking like focusing that in really fast.
Yeah. Good job, Logitech.
It focused like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if the pros are going to complain about those maps being in rotation, then that's just ridiculous to me. But like people like us, yeah, I don't think that should be, those ones should be in.
Wasteland just has horrible performance. I don't think it's maybe the shape sucks, but I think the performance of that map, like FPS wise, is awful, and I hate it.
Yeah.
I haven't. Is Neo Tokyo one of those like maps that were like untextured, but then did they eventually texture it, and now it's Neo Tokyo? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't played the final version yet.
Okay. Well, I went into this having, obviously you guys heard my state of mind, but I think you're right. I think it's a little like, okay, Neo Tokyo is just a different fucking map that I can't play yet. But Wasteland has stupid shit wrong with it, where stuff that happens that shouldn't happen. Bitch, I'm a pro.
All in your head. Nothing wrong with Wasteland.
I'm a pro.
Wow.
It's sucking dick.
I don't like the maps either. I think Wasteland blows ass, but
I think so. You guys are so used to like the same old boring box map with rounded corners. You just like, you guys can't adapt to anything else. You're like, oh my god, it has different angles. How am I supposed to do this? Bitch. No, I don't know. I haven't played the maps yet, but I just think there's different maps.
What
There's different maps, there's different dynamics, and you have to master each map, just like you have to master Office in your strats. You have to offer Dust too in its map, and its strats. Like, I think Rocket League players are just being bitches. What can I say?
I actually want to cry right now, but that's fine. That's why I wanted to get your guys' perspective on it, because I had a feeling that my thoughts were skewed because I'm a salty Rocket League player, but I don't know. It just seems like with something like Rainbow Six or CS:GO, every single map is different. And then with Rocket League, 90% of the maps have been the exact same, and then they release one that's completely different. I think that's just kind of like a little bit of a shock, but that's okay. All right. Any closing thoughts on the Rocket Lips?
Good luck to the dangle.
Yeah, the diggity dangle's going all the motherfucking way.
It wasn't.
As long as it's not.
I have the name.
As long as it's not at 6 a.m. for me.
Oh yeah, and it might be.
Or they don't just like dick it up for like 18 hours.
Yeah.
That did suck. Very much.
That was bullshit.
Yeah, it was. Alrighty, well that is it for our main headlines. As I announced last show, we're gonna start doing something called headline honorable mentions. It's not topics that we are going to discuss unless somebody has like something quick to say about it. These are just news articles that didn't really warrant an entire discussion on the show, but I wanted to show my appreciation for the people that did submit news articles, and these are articles that pertain to kind of our circle of games. So I'm just gonna read through the headlines. Do any of you guys have your webcam Zoom ready to go?
I don't even think I
Oh
have.
God.
What?
I can try. Hold on.
Okay.
I don't have Zoom. I don't think.
Okay, so Speed, we'll skip you this time, but what we're gonna do, just like old times, is read off a headline, zoom your camera in as far as it can go, read the headline, and then the next person will go. So we'll go in our regular rotation. So Salty, you can go first.
Battlefield 1 beta starts August 31st for PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
42.
Yes, Nick.
CS:GO. Coach is banned from helping players during matches.
Halo 5 Forge coming to Windows 10 in early September.
Polga. Twitch introduces activity sharing with friends, localized display names, and discovery directory.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
And that is it for the headline honorable mentions for tonight. We are going to move right along to question time, which is a part of the show where not only do we take questions from chat and answer them at the end of the show, we also ask you guys a question. So I lost that straw poll link. Okay, here we go real quick. All right, so I'll post this straw poll link back in chat. This was regarding No Man's Sky. So if you guys have not had a chance to answer that already, we would love to know what you think. So real quick, I normally ask a question to the guests as well as the chat. I'm going to kind of incorporate what we talked about with No Man's Sky regarding the refunds. And as we discussed earlier, both Mr. SaltySam, you said you did refund or were in the process of refunding?
I submitted a refund request and I haven't heard back.
Okay.
But I
How
literally
did you
did
do
it
that?
while we were sitting on the show.
Okay.
Like you go to the game in your library and then you go to support.
No, did you do it the normal way? Because the automatic system's just going to tell you you have too many hours.
How long does it take for the automatic system to kick it back? Because
Hour or two.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just fucking put it in like an hour ago.
I got my refund same day, like within 8 hours.
Well, that's because you played under 2 hours.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, I've got like 8 hours, but I don't really give a shit.
Okay.
I put it in there saying that it's terrible performance.
Okay.
By the way, Battlefield 4, Battlefield Hardline are like $5 right now in Origin.
Ooh.
Just FYI. So
Even though Battlefield 1 is coming out, just in the very small off chance that it sucks, Battlefield 4 is a great game to just go back to and play. And that's something that will be prevalent in our community for a long time coming. We still have a couple people that play that game every single day, all the time.
Battlefront $20, Mirror's Edge Catalyst $35, The Sims $20. Like they're 75% off. Even the season pass is $37, but that's not a huge discount. No.
Oh, we forgot to talk about season pass for the new Battlefield. We'll have to do that next time.
Yeah.
All right. So while you guys are what?
They're gonna fuck you.
They gonna fuck you. We're gonna go through while you guys are finishing up with that straw poll. We're gonna go through the couple questions that we got from chat this week. The first one was from Bourbinator, and he said, "What are you guys drinking?" We already established that at the beginning of the show, but thank you for submitting a question, Bourbon. These next two are from Lava Lover. First one: what do you guys think of 42 sex change?
I think
You
it's
be
fine.
you, bro.
I think it's I'm glad he finally became a real man.
Oh. 42, what do you think of your latest sex change?
What's been the
I
problems?
don't even have any idea where this started.
Okay, let's say you didn't have a penis, but you got a penis, what do you think your number one problem would be? Like your number one complication?
Zippers.
If I didn't have a penis,
If you literally had no penis, if it was just like a fold of skin, and you're like, I want a penis, and you bought one and had it installed, what do you think? What would be a common problem for having a new penis?
Go into the bathroom.
Lava Lover was talking
random
about
boners
that
that
over
come
his
out of
face.
nowhere?
There is a good one. That is a very good. Did you guys ever have that in high school? Just getting raging boners out of nowhere? That was the worst
Pretty
part of
much
high school.
Says every guy ever.
All right, girls
I'm
like,
a raging
oh, my
boner
boobs
right
hurt,
now."
my vagina's bleeding. Bitch, you don't know what it's like to
Stiff
get a
breeze
boner in the
is
middle
like-
of math class. Stiff breeze. Wearing hoodies in the middle of summer just so I could pull that shit down over my boner.
I
Yeah.
got jeans on and it's 105 degrees outside.
So, did we establish what that question was about?
It's because I had the dick butt picture.
Oh, well,
Mm.
it's not really a sex change if you get an extra dick, right? Like if you already have
just-
one,
It's
Put
sex
it in your butt.
improvement.
you're just a diggity dangle at that point, aren't you?
Ooh.
Oh god! All right, next up, also from Lava Lover. Any of you guys became the tech kid in school who helped the teacher with computer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Screw the teacher.
My teachers had no fucking idea what they were teaching in high school. Like,
Let
I
alone
had a business
computers.
administration teacher teaching AP fucking computer science in high school.
Nope.
She didn't have a fucking clue. So I taught that fucking class. And then I had a web design class where I did the entire year's schoolwork in like 3.5 months. And then I did all that shit too. And then I did the same thing in my physics class. I was a fucking nerd, man.
I actually had no idea about computers until after I graduated high school. Like I had absolutely no idea what a computer was. So I mean, I knew what it was, but I knew I had a login and a password. And if I couldn't remember my password, I had to go to the main office and get it reset. That's all I knew.
Sure did.
Like I was computers my entire life. It wasn't until after college that I actually started working blue collar, and I still do to this day.
All right. Did you guys all get a chance to answer that last one?
Yep.
Okay. Here's my last question of the week that MrFortyTwo and Mr. SpeedDemon already have a pretty good idea. And this is a little inappropriate, but what is it when it comes to the Naaackers TV channel? So bear with me. Who do you think knows how to suck dick better?
Oh my god.
A guy or a girl? Now, I'm going to preface that question with, you can also go into who do you think can eat vagina better, and that is a woman or a guy. But who do you think knows what feels good on a penis? A guy or a girl? So,
I was gonna say Speed Demon.
Fuck all you guys. Just fuck you.
That big knuckle.
Big ass knuckle. So, here's the question. The base question is, who do you think is better at sucking the D, a guy or a girl? If you were to be blindfolded, and there was one guy who sucked your dick, and then the next day you were blindfolded again, you had one girl suck your dick, who do you think would do a better job? And I want your honest, no homo answers, because I already know the answer. I've asked God, and He told me. He wasn't very happy about his answer, but he told me. So, SaltySam, you're gonna go first. This is gonna be our final question for the night.
Okay. I mean,
The guy has a beard. Okay, I'll
For
say that
once,
much.
I'm so
That
happy
doesn't
that
matter
Salty
to
has to
me.
go first.
I'm like, I'm saying
hard.
women are doing it better.
You're saying women are doing it better,
Unless the guy's gay, I'm saying women are doing it better.
but what if you don't know that it's a dude that's sucking your weepee?
Then you don't know what's sucking your pee-pee.
But if you
But
don't
who
know,
would do it? Who do you think would do it better?
right? Who do you think
still
knows
saying-
what feels better, a guy or a girl?
All right, let's just break this down. Guys don't give a shit who the fuck is sucking their dick because they're getting their dick sucked.
This is
Let's
true.
just stop right there. It doesn't fucking
No.
matter how good it is. I'm
No
getting
doubt.
mouths. Fuck it. Seriously, come on.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm still giving it to women though.
All right.
I feel like they care. We don't give a shit.
And this
If I feel a beard touching my dick, I'm like, it's salty. It's salty.
Hey. Just,
Or
yeah. Okay. MrFortyTwo, you also kind of came in midway, but I want your answer live on Crocs and Hot Pocket 7, so this can go into archive.org.
Well, and I thought about this too, and I was thinking about it. I mean,
Yes, you were thinking about getting dick sucked by dudes.
well, you can't just answer for me.
But you've been no. Oh, that's true. Okay, I'm sorry.
Originally, when I heard this conversation, I would agree that a guy would, because, like you said, they know what they want. But
This is like the most
but does it?
fucking
But
twist.
it depends on It depends on wouldn't you think a girl would want it more than a guy?
But you don't know if the guy's gay, and we don't discriminate.
Okay,
if
well,
it's-
yeah, in that sense, then
everybody
yes,
is
a guy.
blindfolded.
But
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Let's just throw it out the door. I wouldn't want to know. If I'm fucking blindfolded and get my blowjob, I wouldn't want to know because I'm not gay.
But
yeah,
just
if you
imagine
got your
Big
dick sucked
Bertha.
by a guy, you might turn gay. Let me tell you right now.
I don't think so. I don't think that's enough.
Let me show you, Salty.
Bees, your turn.
Oh god. Okay.
You guys agreed to be on this show. You have to comply to my demands, all right? Speed,
right.
Go ahead.
God.
When we were playing Rocket League, it came up with the same thing with what 42 said was a guy knows what he wants, so a guy will be able to do it best. But then what's her name?
Sovereign.
Sovereign
Yep.
came there and said if a girl knew what she was doing, most likely the girl.
Her exact
So-
words, Sovereign's exact words I would outsuck all of you dudes. Hilarity and
Robot wasn't in chat. He was playing Overwatch that day.
All right, is that your final answer, Speed?
Yeah, that's my final answer.
All right, Robot, you must answer now. I know this makes him so uncomfortable, which is why I love asking.
I can't wait. Is your wife in the other room? Because I really hope she's listening right now.
Thank God she's asleep. And if she's
Damn.
watching right now, I'm so sorry, honey. I'm so sorry. So I understand the argument that because a guy knows what feels best, he would probably do it better. But it depends on who you're getting your BJ from. If it's from an of age 18-year-old Catholic girl who's never seen a penis in her life, yeah, she's probably gonna, scrape some skin off your dick.
Oh, God.
Now, if the girl knows what she's doing, then I'm not gonna last more than 5 seconds anyway. So, it just depends who's doing it. But
I'm just saying.
I gotta give it to the ladies.
The guys know what it feels like, but they don't have a fucking clue what she just did.
That's true.
That's true.
They're not
true.
looking. They're
I ain't looking at shit.
It all just feels like a Lincoln log and some wet noodles. We don't know what part's being touched. It's just
That's all I got to say.
Okay. Well, I think through me explaining myself, I think you guys all know my answer, but I'm not going to go out and say it. But I'll say it. I think dudes know how to suck dick much better.
Oh my God.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Oh, okay.
Prove it.
The underlying statement is if you haven't gotten a finger in your butthole during a blowjob, you're missing out on a whole world of loveliness, all right? And with that, we're going to move right to the end show talking points. So, guys, who are you? Where can we find you online? And if you guys have any events that are coming up in the near future, please feel free to share them.
Oh my God.
Hi, my name is SaltySam. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at TheSaltySam and on Snapchat at SaltyAllDay.
Hi, my name is SpeedDemon. You can find me on the GSM forums and Discord and on Twitter at SpeedDemon2533.
I'm MrFortyTwo on Instagram and Snapchat, and MrFortyTwo TV on Twitter.
I am Bang Bus on Twitch, Twitter, and Snapchat. No, I'm the BadBadRobot on Twitch, Twitter, and Snapchat. I stream 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Variety Caster. See you soon.
My name is Naaackers. And this will probably be my last broadcast because we're getting banned. You guys know who I am. I stream on this channel 3 times a week, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. I'll be continuing Fallout 4 this upcoming week. Probably doing another night of Rocket League training with my competitive homeboys. And you can also find me on Twitter and Snapchat at Naaackers. So tonight was an absolutely fantastic stream, guys. Thank you for putting up with my debauchery that is my questions. I appreciate it very much. Chat, you guys were off the chain tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out. We're gonna get out of here. Remember, Crocs and Hot Pockets is a bi-weekly talk show. We do it every other Sunday, so we will be back in 2 weeks, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel. If you guys haven't followed the channel yet, hit that follow button below. You'll know when we go live with the next episode of Crocs and Hot Pockets. You will also know if you follow us on Twitter, any of us, we always will show the, we'll always retweet the going live tweet when it happens, so you guys will know. So again, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of the week. Happy Labor Day weekend. I know a lot of you guys are going to have a 3 or 4 day weekend. Enjoy it. Get some time in with some video games. Spend some time with your family, and ultimately have a good one. So have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.